Hello everybody, Suffolk Andy here on a beautiful day in Suffolk. Thought I'd just have a little ride out this morning just for half an hour. I think if everybody who lives in this area knows, it's the Cobdock bike show this morning. Be thousands and thousands of bikers down there having a great time. I'm afraid this one won't be. Family commitments, can't get out of. So I'm going to have to miss this year, give it a pass. Anyway, I want to bring you up to speed on a couple of things. One is the old Virago, still in the dock. They're now saying that the crush bearings are knackered and the bearings in the back wheel. And our local biggest sort of motorbike shop in Ipswich, or East Anglia really, can't get the parts for 4 to 5 working days. So it's going to be stuck up there probably till next Friday. Bit of a bummer, but I've still got my old ZZR if I turn the bloody indicator off. So, and the other thing I want to bring up to speed is the lady pinching the stones off the beach. It's gone global. The local papers have got hold of it now. And they interviewed or surveyed people who lived at Felixstowe and asked them, was it right that people could take stones off their beach? And they said, no, it's not. Not at all. It's all right for a child to take a lucky stone or a beachcomber to find a little bit of jade to take home, but that's it. Don't take any more. And they show you this lovely picture in the paper of this big huge shingle beach with billions of tons of shingle on it. And then if you look right out in the distance, you'll see a friggin' dredger. Now that dredger is dredging up shingle by the millions of tons. So when you go to your DIY shop and you buy your little bag of shingle, it comes from Felixstowe Beach, or just off the beach. That's fine. They've got no problem with that. And the big news is it wasn't 4 bags of stones. It was 6. My God, the woman took 6. So that's all I'm going to say on this. But I must say that the local paper with their big massive survey actually only quoted 2 people. So I don't know where they're going from. But she has stirred up quite a hornet's nest, this woman, with her 6 bags of stones. Anyway, as you can see, there'll be loads of bikes about today. All sorts, all going to the Cobdock bike show. Anyway, I'm going in the other way, so I'm not disappointed. Anyway, I thought I'd talk today about a couple of little things that bug me. Well, I don't say they bug me, but before I go any further with this, I'd like to just say to the people what I might upset. It's just my view, and that's the way it is, you know, and I can't help that. Right, I'm going to talk the first thing about, here we go, caravans. Okay? Oh look, there's one right there, just as I said it. A slug puller. There you go, look, and another slug puller. Wait, that is freaking unreal. Just say the name caravan and 2 come right over the top of the hill. Well, anyway, I'm going to talk about caravans. Now, before I get any further, I want to make it known to caravan people, I've got no problem with you lot on the road. It's not a road thing that I'm moaning about. It's probably a thing that goes back to when I was probably a child. I never liked caravans, even as a child. And I can always remember my dad coming in and going, well, son, we're going down to Cornwall for a week in a caravan. And I used to think to myself, oh fuck, not again. So I think it was a childhood thing, and I'll go into it in a little bit of detail for you, because I'll let you know. Well, the one thing I didn't like about caravans in the olden days was them friggin' gas lights they used to have in them with the mantles on. Now I'm showing my age here, you know, to you younger bikers, but they used to have these mantle things and the gas they used to have. And if you woke up in the middle of the night, there was no toilets in caravans in them days, and you had to murky yourself out to the communal communal toilets in the dark, fumbling around to do your business. I hated it. And then they had an invention called a chemical toilet, and they used to put these chemical toilets in, and Bob's your uncle. You could stay in your caravan, but the trouble is, the next morning you was like a prisoner in prison. You had to slop out, slop the bloody thing out, take it down the road, find this drain thing and pump it out into there. Everybody's poo and shit and everything else, you know. Nah, hated it. And every morning you woke up, you know, and all the windows were all steamed up and you couldn't see out of them. You had to put your hand over it and wipe them, and oh my Jesus Christ. And the other thing is, I always remember with it, you had these communal shower blocks, you know, communal shower blocks, and you used to go in there in the morning because you've got to do your business, you know, and you had to put up with some big fat German tourist in there farting and burping and going ahead with his string vest on, having a shave, putting bloody shaving stuff everywhere. And then if he was really unlucky, his missus had been in the shower, and you think, oh, I'll have myself a shower now, it's empty. And she was probably the hairiest woman who ever walked the earth, these German birds. You know what they're like when they lift their arms up. Friggin' great hairy armpits. You know, terrible. I've seen them in Spain and places like that with the big hairy armpits and the tits hanging down to the friggin' knees, you know, and big fat pot bellies. Yeah, she's been in there and she's had a shave down. You go in, it looks like they skinned a bloody bear. And you're like, ah, oh, look at all this lot everywhere, you know. Nah, not for me. Don't like it. Now my missus, she loves going in caravans. And she says, shall we have a caravan holiday, Andy? And I'm like, no. And I got some friends who love their caravans. Little Legs and John, they used to have a caravan. There's some lovely times in them. They actually bought one round to my house once, and I helped them put the air, is it the Oran I think they call it, on the outside, this tent thing that you can all sit about at night singing Goody Goody Gangy, you know, and having your sausage and putting it over the fire and all that sort of stuff. And they had a lovely time. Great. Fantastic, you know. Fantastic, you know. But not for me. You know, you had to go and get your water in a big bucket thing. Fill it up, bring it over, lug it about. And I'll tell you what, if you think about it, camping is the same sort of thing. Now, I hope you can see where I'm coming from when I say this, and I'm not anti-camping as such. I don't like going camping. I don't do camping, but if you think about it, if there's a disaster in the world or in this country or anywhere else, not so much this country, but anywhere else, and people are homeless and everything else, what do they do first? They send tents. Bloody tents, don't they? You know, so really camping's for refugees. Send a bloody tent. That's all you get. And if you're lucky and they got some spare, you might get a caravan or a mobile home. So it's all about being a refugee. I hope you know where I'm coming from. I'm just winding people up here a little bit. But yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I think I'm going to go out the Hadley way, yeah. Keeping myself well away from the Cobdock Bike Show. Let's open up a bit. I'll still go well. Yeah, so camping, caravans, and you know, I haven't moaned actually about caravans being on the road. I don't see that much of a problem. I know they're slow and come, you know, and whatever. But I'm going to tell you a story about caravans, and this is gospel truth what I'm going to tell you. I had a friend called John, and we were sitting in a big car park outside a burger place on one of the main roads, And I don't know what the conversation got round to, but we got round to caravans. And he said, Andy, have you ever noticed these caravan people? Here come the chopper boys. Look at that lot, look. Hey. He said, have you ever noticed these caravan boys? And I said, what are you on about, John? He said, well, look. He said, if you notice, when they pull into a car park, which is virtually empty, but there's a couple of cars parked near each other and there's a small space in between, the real dedicated caravan, I can drive my caravan wherever I like and show you how good I am, we'll back that caravan into that little space. And when he's done that, he'll get out, he'll walk round his caravan and he'll kick the wheels. And I said, no, John, I've never seen that, mate. Anyway, we went in and got our burgers, came back out, and lo and behold, 2 caravans pulled in. Must have been in the convoy, 2 slug pullers. Anyway, the first slug puller, he looked around, there's plenty of space, and he put his caravan in the bigger space. Well, nah, John, you're wrong here, mate. Anyway, the next thing, the second caravan, he's looking around, and he sees the smallest space. You can only just fit this frigging caravan in it, but there's loads of open space, he could go on anywhere. He backs the frigging caravan into the smallest space, and me and John sat there, and John went, I told you. And he said, you watch. And this bloke got out, and he kicked the frigging tyres, went round and bump every tyre. I just looked at John and I said, friggin' hell, mate, you was right there, you know. So that's my little true story on caravans. But going back to caravans on the road, no, I haven't got that much of a problem with them. There's bikes everywhere this morning, as you can see. There's probably going to be about 20,000, 25 plus, I suppose, at this bike meet today. I think Carl Fogarty's going to be there, and 1 or 2 other sort of famous sort of racing people and whatever. But yeah, going back to caravans on the road, they are frustrating, they are slow, and a lot of people get a lot of enjoyment from them. And I've got no problem with that. You know, you want to go out and pull a slug. You know, I've always thought about, if I had to do it, would I do it? No. I think the furthest I would go with it is a mobile home, because, you know, you can, I don't know what the difference is, I really don't. I just think they're both awful. But I know several years back when the kids were small, my missus used to say, we get one of these holidays from the Sun newspaper, £9.50 for the week. And she'd book them up, and it'd be like the Isle of Wight in a frigging caravan. And lo and behold, you know, I had 3 boys. You know what boys are like. Lo and behold, one of them would slam the door and catch the other one in the frigging door of the caravan. So he spent all day down at A&E having his finger bloody looked at. You know, and no, horrendous times. And another story is, when I was younger, when my dad used to take us down to Cornwall, his father used to go down there with us, my grandfather, and we were all kids, and we used to all sit in the caravan at night in the middle of the dunes down in Cornwall, and he used to sit there and he'd tell us stories, like ghosty stories, you know. I think we were about 6 or 7. And I used to shit myself at night, lying in that caravan, listening to my granddad snoring his friggin' head off. Because I always wondered that this blinking ghosties would come to the window, you know. And because all the windows are all steamed up, so you had to keep wiping it with your hand to look outside, and I kept thinking this bloody face was going to go, nyeh, you know. But it never did. So my views on caravans are not very good. I don't think I could actually pull one around. I don't think, you know, I don't know how fast they go. Is it 50 mile an hour? 50, 60? I don't know. But no way would I pull one of them around. No. You know, after I go to France a lot, and I will go into that in a different blog. But I've travelled France quite a bit on a motorbike. You know, I go, and cars, probably go 2 to 3 times a year. You know, to France. I love the place. Love the roads for the bikes. But I will do that in another blog. But you go over there, and they got these caravan sites, you know, and whatever. And I look at them and I think, oh, they look nice, you know. And then these horrific sort of images come back to me from as a child. I don't know what he's doing in the bush. Oh, talking to the horses. And I think, oh no, I can't do that. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble on too much now. I'm going to make my way home because I've got family commitments this afternoon, and if I don't get there, Mrs. P will probably castrate me. So I'm on my way home. Well, I hope I haven't rambled on too much. And oh, can I just say, the guys who have sort of logged on to me and sent me messages, thank you guys, I appreciate that. I didn't realise, you know, you guys are more experienced at this than I am, and I didn't realise sometimes how hard this can be, just sort of riding along and talking and doing stuff, you know. But yeah, thank you, mate, and thank you, mates, who's subscribed. Alright, I'm on my way home now. Mrs. P will be waiting with the iron pin in her hand. So rolling pin, not iron and pin, rolling pin. So that's a goodbye from me, Suffolk Andy.